Shore, Mara, Debella, Kinnereth, Akatosh, Divines, please help me.
Look at him. General Tullius, the military governor. And it looks like the Thalmor are with him. Damn elves. I bet they had something to do with this.
Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyanI, that's IRYENI, and you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome to week number 97 of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Now hopefully you guys will enjoy the mods that I've picked out for this week. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the Osare Food mod. Now this mod adds 21 new foods and recipes into the game of Skyrim, and they're all cookable at any cooking pot or oven. It includes foods such as beef curry, beef stew, there's donuts that you can make, french fries, hamburgers, different types of pastas like spaghetti. There's also coffee and milk and other new vegetables that have been added into the game. It also includes condiments such as ketchup and breakfast foods such as eggs, along with all your favorite different types of stews. Now I really like this mod, and I feel like it would be a really great mod if it was combined with another mod that did something along the lines of making food more powerful and like buffing up the food to give you more of an effect whenever you eat it. Because, you know, cooking in Skyrim there's not really much of an incentive to go out and actually cook, because the traits that you get from the cooking itself isn't as good as making a potion. But with this mod combined with another mod that will really buff your food up, then that would definitely be a great combination. But even without the combination of mods, the Osare Food mod just adds a whole bunch of new foods into the game that just give you plenty more options whenever you're either displaying the foods inside of your house, or if you're just cooking for some guests that you're about to have over. So I just really like what the mod has to offer, and we don't really see too many food mods, so I'd like to include it in this one. So that's why it comes in at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Osare Food mod. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have Swordbreaker SE. Now the description reads, this is a Swordbreaker for Skyrim. It has 3K textures on the sword, 2 for the scabbard, and this weapon can be crafted at the forge. It's a very badass looking sword, and you can do all kinds of crazy stealth eliminations with it. Personally, I feel that this blade is perfect for a Dark Brotherhood playthrough because it's the most deadly looking blade that you can pretty much have. With the way it looks and just how the Dark Brotherhood is, I just feel like it would really fit together, you know, going up and sneaking up behind your enemies and taking them out with this sword will definitely make you feel like a badass, and that's definitely why it comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Swordbreaker mod. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Skooma Dealers of Skyrim. Now this is a complete rework of the drug system in Skyrim, adding new lore-friendly drugs from previous Elder Scrolls games, and adding new visual effects to all drugs and alcohol. This also adds new dealers to the 4 holds, and it reworks the stats for all drugs. Now this mod adds 7 new lore-friendly drugs from the previous Elder Scrolls games, which are Hist Sap, Feldew, Green Moat, Daryl, Redwater Skooma, the Essence of Sleeping Tree, and Unrefined Moon Sugar. And as you can see, I'm going to be showing you the different visuals that come along with each of the different drugs that you can try. And the tweaked stats of the mods actually go from, you know, being able to have a high speech skill, to being able to run faster, to having more health, you know, to stuff and really high perks like that. And it really reminds me of how Fallout 4 was, you know, while pumping jet, it would just slow down the game completely and you'd be able to, you know, aim your shots more accordingly. But with this, it's actually very useful to use in battle because there's one of the drugs that actually does 125 points to your health immediately. It just adds it to it, so you become a complete brute and you can just completely slay anything that's in the room for a little bit. Or if you need to talk your way through some situations, then you can take one of the other drugs and it'll allow your speech to be increased. Or if you just want to sit back, relax, and have a good time playing Skyrim along with some visual effects, then this is definitely the mod for you. Now the drug dealers that have been added to the 4 holds blend in seamlessly and have their own little life. You can find them in the Ragged Flagon in Riften, there's one in Windhelm, in Markarth, and in the Solitude Docks, as well as adding all all the drugs to the Khajiit caravans as well. That's where I actually got all of mine here outside of Whiterun. It also adds a network of drug runners in their own faction, and the new drugs around the world are rare, but they're mainly kept by bandits. This mod also adds a drug dealer's den northwest of Riften with a tough fight for some good loot, along with drug runners to the world that carry a lot of expensive loot but are tough to fight. And like I said, all drugs work differently from each other and have strong visual effects. Some have subtle visuals, some drugs will hit you instantly, some come on slowly, and this makes using drugs in fights really interesting, because you might use a drug to get bonus points, and then once the bonus has left, you may find yourself lost in a swarm of hallucination. Now I find this mod really interesting because all throughout the Elder Scrolls games we learn, oh, skooma this, skooma that, there's tons of skooma here, tons of skooma there, especially in Oblivion and Skyrim, which are the ones that I've played the most, but we never really get to hear about the other ones. We never get to hear about, oh, whatever happened to Hist Sap? Oh, what about this drug? What about that? You know, what are the common drugs that are found around Skyrim? You know, what do people actually use around here? And this mod sheds some light onto that situation and adds all of them into the game, and then you can go and actually bust some drug runners, go on a little bit of an adventure, take everything that they have, and then sell them for profit. So if you want to go on an adventure, get some good loot, and bust some drug runners, then this mod is definitely for you. Don't do drugs, kids. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have Army Wars Battle Simulator. Now this mod is a work in progress, and it comes with army creation scripts, the Whiterun Battleground, the Windhelm Battleground, the Markarth Battleground, as well as enemy random raids. And this is a custom battle simulator that allows you to create your own units and make them participate in the Skyrim Wars. Now while a lot of the features actually work really well, there are some more planned features that are to be put into the mod. As I said, it is a work in progress. And there's the Battle Mode, which is a mode that features a battleground simulation based on Skyrim elements, which can be customized to get different scenarios for a realm war. You could choose between the armies of the Imperial, Thalmor, Stormcloak, Dwarvens, Bandits, etc. There's also a Conquest mode, which features a Conquest quest to allow the user to attack enemy camps in Skyrim, lore based on the Civil War. In the Battlegrounds, you can confront realms of enemies and create different military units to force a conquest on all the locations. Once you have some population quantity to limit your army, you can research some upgrades to get a population count, and you can also win money by killing these enemies. Some of the buildings that are featured in this little campsite that you have here is a barracks. Your barracks is your main building. Here you can train soldiers and do some research. You can train soldiers, which are used to attack enemy zones, and guards, which are used to protect ally zones. You also have a farmhouse that comes with a menu where you can bring population capacity and train farmers to get more gold. There's the villager, which is a civilian unit that can work and retrieve gold, and there's also a farmhouse population, which determines how much units you can recruit. You also have a temple in your camp, which is a magic building where you can train magic units. There's a priest, which is specialized in healing, a warlock, which is specialized in summoning, and a necromancer, which is specialized in dark magic or cursed effects. Then you have the blacksmith. The blacksmith allows you to research some good improvements for your military, such as, coming in on horseback, or having heavy weapons, or heavy armor. There's also the markets, which is a building that allows you to buy some equipment that is necessary for your military. And then there's the raid triggers, which allows you to start an enemy trigger and defend your own base and actually set up your own custom wars. There's also an assault trigger, which allows you to attack enemy outposts and conquer different locations around the world of Skyrim. Now this actually isn't a quest in itself, it's actually its own little game mode outside of Whiterun, which is where I was here. There's also Windhelm and Markarth that feature the same type of camp system, and it's independent from the main storyline, so you can start playing just by visiting the battlegrounds. And to create an army, you're going to need to create new units, which are about 500 to 2,000 gold per unit, and also for a population, you need to use farms to increase it. Now this isn't a mod where you can just go in and create an army right off the bat if you're just starting up a new character, unless you use the cheat room, of course, and go in and get a bunch of gold, but this is mainly for people who are already a higher level and want to experiment and actually lead their own army and are powerful enough to have their own army behind them. So can you imagine starting up a Dragonborn army? This mod is just full of potential, and I definitely see it going in great places whenever it's fully finished. So that's definitely why it comes in at our number 2 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Army Wars Battle Simulator. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the full version of the People of Skyrim 2. Now this mod is a huge mod, it's over 400 megabytes, but I wouldn't show it to you guys if I didn't think it was an amazing mod. Now the mod page reads that the People of Skyrim will help rejuvenate your desire to explore and continue playing Skyrim. Now there are tons of changes that this mod comes with, so I'm going to be reading a little bit of them. I'm not going to be able to actually cover all of them because it changes a lot of stuff in the game. It's almost like a full overhaul. Now there's new independent Civil War conflicts and patrol patrols across Skyrim, including sea battles. And there's a variety of scenarios that have been crafted to ensure longevity. There are many patrols and scouting parties that are not all road-based, but extend well into the wilds in some cases. There's new vanilla lighting in taverns, new decorative changes to the taverns as well. There's new patrols in the taverns and travelers to them as well. There's new exterior traps, new towers, new farmhouses and structures, new books in the game, new road travelers, new frostfall camps, new graveyards, new Sea of Ghost content, along with a new forested area across the tundra and beyond. There's new caves, new forts, bandit camps, enemies, some of which will only spawn at certain times of the main quest completion, and these spawns are triggered based while hand-placed in the world, and they should not conflict with other mods that you have, such as immersive patrols and such. There's also new merchants with lots of gold and thief merchants near Dragon Bridge, which come across with the new settlements in Skyrim. As for new player homes, there have been new player homes added to the game that fit vampires, thieves, warriors, mages, or collectors, and you'll find what you need. They've also altered the caves, ruins, and forts of Skyrim to have a more interesting experience. You will become careful once more, or you will pay the price in some cases, and you will not be sure of your steps as you once was. There's also new ruins, Dwemer, Nordic, Imperial, and so on, reflecting on the ancient history of Skyrim, and that's all I'm really going to read now because the list just goes on and on for all the stuff that it changes. This is a huge mod, a huge overhaul, and a groundbreaking mod for the Xbox community, and that is definitely why it comes in at our #1 spot. So I'd strongly recommend downloading the full version of the People of Skyrim 2. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions to there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.